I think we're doing well. We have a great presentation for you tonight. Tonight's topic is, all right parents, you ready? Portion distortion. Right? Anyone take a little more on their plate than they should? I think you're going to find out that that's just the way it is nowadays and how different it was. But to give us our presentation tonight, once again, let's welcome from the Riverside Medical Clinic, Rosalee Kamper.
Again, my name is Rosalee, and it's good to see all of you back. I need to have my volunteers that I asked to come up, okay? Today we're going to have it be a little bit interactive, so just come up here, and I want you to just stand over here for a little bit. Now, what is it, like, how are we going to determine what is a proper portion size? How do you know, like, does anybody measure their food when they are serving themselves? Yes. The weight on your hand, yep, that's one of the helpful hints, yes. Okay, she says a cup is about the size of your fist, and that generally is not a bad measurement. But sometimes when we're out at restaurants and things like that, they give us food that's way too much, right? In general, you tend to get too big of portions, and a lot of us were raised that we're supposed to eat everything that's on our plate, right? You're not supposed to waste food. Wasting food is not a good idea. So when we're looking at how much do we eat, one of the things is you want to make sure that when you're eating, you have an idea of what is a proper portion size. And I want to give you a little bit of an idea and show you some comparisons of foods and why. Why is having too big of portions a problem? Yes?
Because sometimes when you eat the calories, you never burn them off.
Right. And what is calories? Remember we talked about that last month. Calories is energy, right? And what does energy do? Do you remember this one right here? For those of you that were here, this is how many pounds? 1 pound. Okay, here, I want you to hold this one up. Okay, how many calories does it take to contribute to that 1 pound of fat? As a review, do you remember? It was a big number. Higher than 1,000. Higher.
5,000.
Higher. 3,500. Remember? Okay. So 3,500 calories for that pound of fat. So if you eat in excess continually, how many pounds is this? 5. Right. So then you're going to multiply 3,500 by 5. Okay, and you're going to end up with that. So now let's look at some foods just to give us an example of what maybe would be a good way to measure. Okay, I need a volunteer. Okay, let's grab you right here in the red jacket. Okay, go ahead and put on this glove. Okay. And what I have here, for those of you that can't see, is I have a big pot of pasta. Okay? Now, what is a good portion size of pasta? Okay, you're going to go ahead, grab out however much you think is a good size and stick it in here. Hard to get it on, huh? It's okay, you can just grab it like that.
What is it?
Yeah, like that. How much would you eat? That much? Okay, he's going to eat this much. A lot of us really like pasta, right? Okay, so how much is this? What's the measurement on there? That's about 2 cups, okay? So when you pour that out on a plate, it's going to look like that. All right? And for a lot of people, that's maybe how much you might eat, correct? Yeah. But what is a proper portion size? Somebody said it a little bit ago. It's about half of a cup, right? Okay, so go ahead and put it in this now. Fill that up. Yeah, with this amount. He's not quite grabbing such a big handful of pasta anymore, right? Well, that's a little more than you should have right there. It's kind of overflowing. Okay, pull that out. so instead of looking like this much, what it's going to look like is, go ahead and dump it out on here. It's this much. Okay, so this is the comparison right here. I don't want to dump it on the floor, so sorry if I'm not holding right. So can you see the difference? Okay, so that's where measuring your food does come in handy. Okay, thank you for your help. That's all. Thank you. Another way to look at it is, if you're looking at it, this is what we normally have right here. Okay, as far as portion size. And this is actually a more appropriate size if you're putting sauce on top of it. Okay, so this is not Olive Garden where you go and you have your entire plate full of pasta, right? You just have a portion size. Do you remember from the first week, what did we talk about? What is part of half of your plate supposed to be? Fruits and veggies, right? Okay, so when you look at your plate, you have half of your plate as vegetables, or maybe you have a piece of fruit on there. Okay? So your plate should look like this, and then you have your pasta, which takes up just a quarter of your plate. Okay, and then what would be up here? What are we missing? We're missing a meat, okay? You may have meat on your sauce, you may not, okay? But then this is really what your plate should look like. Okay, your whole plate should not be this. Okay, because if you have your whole plate this, you don't have any room for the vegetables and for the meat. All right, excellent. Now, that just gives you an idea. This is called the plate method. And this is really helpful for portion sizes because it tells you you need to make sure to have these nutrients. Why are fruits and veggies good for you? Kids, why are fruits and vegetables good for you? Go ahead. Okay, they're healthy, they have vitamins, they give you energy, all of the above, yes. Now I have another little example. Are you sick of holding the fat yet? Yeah? Okay. If you look at this, I have some examples of bread. Okay. You want to hold up some bread?
Is it real?
Okay. Here's 2 pieces of bread. It's okay. Just hold it up. Right there. Okay. Now, which bread is the right size piece of bread? The white one or the brown one? The brown one is the right size. Okay, this one is probably about double of what we need, and this is actually quite a normal sized piece of bread. Okay, this is still a little bit bigger than what we need, and this is probably an average size piece. Okay, so it's definitely smaller than that. So when I tell people if you have to put it in the toaster twice, your bread is too big. Okay, you should be able to stick it in there and eat it in one piece. Okay, if it's this big, you're getting too big of a portion size. Another thing that we sometimes see is, I have an example right here. These are muffins. Okay, and I didn't even get the biggest one. Have you seen the Costco muffins? Yeah. Okay, this is about half of that size. This is a real size muffin right here. Okay, and this is a bigger one, so you see the difference right there. And Costco is about double this size. Okay, so this is one portion size right here that you should be eating as far as the muffin. But over time, our portions have gotten bigger and they're starting to get bigger yet. And when we start having bigger portions, we start eating more food and we start having bigger people. Okay, and that's where you do want to try to make sure that you're watching the portion size. Excellent. Okay. And when portions get bigger, what do we consume more of? We tend to consume more calories. Exactly. Okay, and calories equal what? Fat. Right. Now, a lot of people, what they'll do, and this is the food that I grew up with, okay, is your plate looks a lot like this. Okay? So who tends to eat somewhat like this? Okay, this is the kind of food. This is beans, this is rice, this is tortillas. Okay, and this is meat. Now what are we missing here? We're missing vegetable. Okay, so we need to cut back a little bit. Okay, because this is too much. Maybe you just do one tortilla. Or maybe you just do a little bit of beans and rice. And watch the amount of meat, because you still need to include some sort of vegetable that's going to take up half of your plate. Very good. Any questions at all? Do most people have measuring cups at home? Okay. You have your measuring cups, right, from the last week. Do you use them? Okay. A lot of things come in half-cup measuring cups. Okay, so this is going to be a half. This is going to be a whole. Now, when you're looking at things, somebody mentioned a good way to gauge it is if it can fit in your hand. Okay, this is a little example of a hand. If your food can fit in here, that's a good thing. Okay, you just want to get one handful. Not a huge handful like he grabbed of pasta, but just to fit in the palm of your hand. Okay? Another thing to use is a computer mouse. Kids, do you use these? Yes, okay. Computer mouse. It also fits in the palm of your hand. Okay, so that's a good portion size. A piece of meat is about the size of a deck of cards. Okay, so it should fit in the palm of your hand just like a piece of meat fits in the palm of your hand. Okay, so if your steak is really big, it's way too much. Okay, this is about 3 to 4 ounces. So if your steak is about 16 ounces, that's a problem. All right, excellent. And then with drinks, okay, we're drinking out of a lot of these cups, right? Okay, now an average size cup looks like this. Okay, this is a normal size cup. This one is on steroids. Okay, this is way too big. So you want to make sure that when you're drinking a lot of juices and things like that, water, definitely you can drink out of here, but if it's juice, if it would be soda, we want to cut that back as much as possible. Okay, and then we do have the soda, right? Okay, who uses these? Me. Okay, some people. Has anybody used these? Okay, these are better. Okay, if you're going to have soda, okay, you definitely want to cut down the amount of it. This is not the greatest idea. They have the little ones. And maybe, definitely no more than one of these a day. Okay. What are we drinking right now? 2 liters. 3 of those. Good. Yeah, you definitely need to watch the portion sizes, not only of your food, but also your drinks. Okay? Because long term, that's going to contribute to excess calories. So, the long and short of it, we want to try to remember the plate method. Try to have your fruits and veggies and watching your portions of your meat and your carbs. Okay, we definitely try to use those measuring cups that we gave you the other week. Okay, use the half cup. Use the 1 cup as your maximum. Okay, because long term, these guys are getting tired of holding this fat here. Okay, but I had them hold this the whole time because some people have an extra 5 pounds that they carry all the time. And if you have to carry that all the time, how do you feel about that? He doesn't like it. Okay, that's my synopsis of that. Okay, he's like, I'm not going to say so. So you don't want to have extra of these on your body. Okay, excellent. So that's our talk for tonight. Thank you so much, and have a great night.
All right, let's give Rosalee a great round of applause.